Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Today, we're going to learn Sutta from Anguttara Nikaya, Numerical Discourses, Book of 9. Sutta's name is Nandakasutta. This Sutta we can relate to ourselves to develop the Dhamma, to see what is, how much we have come forward and how much path is remained there. This explains how to one by one, how to develop Dhamma and complete the path of enlightenment. Supreme Buddha has mentioned that there are 4 things we should see to understand and complete our Dhamma path. Okay, so how would the Supreme Buddha mention it? We will learn today. Ekang samayang bhagava savatiyang viharati jetavane anathapindikasa arame. On one occasion, Supreme Buddha dwelling at Savatthi in Jeta's Grove, Anathapindika's park. Tena kopana samayena ayasma nandako upathana salayang viharati dhammya kathaya sandaseti samadapeti samuttejati sambhanseti. And that one time, the bhikkhu or Bhante Nandaka, he was teaching the Dhamma or explaining the Dhamma in Upathana Sala. Upathana Sala is something where the Bhantes gather together. Okay, the monks gather together and all the activities, the group activities happens. Okay, so this is Upathana Sala where the big hall is there and then bhikkhus talk each other together or about Dhamma or any discussion or whatever it means. Simply, the bhikkhus assembly hall, the monks assembly hall is this. Okay, there is another one sala called the Uposatagara. It is something little bit different than that. Bhikkhus go and then just have their Uposata. Okay, such a thing. So, Dhammya Kathaya, he was talking the Dhamma or preaching the Dhamma. Sandaseti, he's explaining them. Samadapeti, he's teaching the meaning to them. Samuttejati, is encouraging them. Sambhanseti, make them understand and establish them on the path. Something he's teaching. With his teaching, he was doing this thing. Athako bhagava sayana samayang patisallana vuttito yenu patthana sala tenupasankami. And that evening time, the Supreme Buddha went to the Upathana Sala where this assembly hall, the Supreme Buddha was also visited. Upasankamitva Bahidwara Kothake Attasi. Bahidwara Kothake means outside of the door. Means the porch we can call in the front of the door. In the porch, the Supreme Buddha was standing. Upasankamitva, coming there Bahidwar Kotake, in that porch, Attas, it means standing. Katha Pariyosana Agamayamano. It means he was waiting to finish that conversation. After this Dhamma talk has been concluded, Atako Bhagava Katha Pariyosana. Katha Pariyosana means after finishing this talk, what the Nandaka Bhante was giving inside, Supreme Buddha was waiting outside on that time. This is a beautiful thing to see in the Sangha. You know, very rarely, in Buddha's time, no one interrupts when the Dhamma talk is giving. Even today also, if the Bhante is preaching about Dhamma, they never interrupt them unless any suggestion is there or any especially some points are mentioned in there. But while the preaching, never happens that bhikkhus will interrupt them or ask them to, okay, this is happening now, you should do this, something like that. Nothing. So in the Supreme Buddha's time also the same thing, and it wasn't exception for the Buddha also. Buddha always see that if the Dhamma talk is happening, he always stop outside. So when the Supreme Buddha heard that or listened that the Dhamma talk has finished, what he did, Ukkasetva aggarang akotesi, means he said, you know, in the throat, we will make a little bit noise that we make aware that we are present there, something that, and then he knocked on the door. Vivarinsu means open. Kote bhikkhu bhagavato dwara. They opened the door for Supreme Buddha. Then Atako Bhagava Upattana Salang Pavisitva Panyattasane Nisidi. Then when the Supreme Buddha entered in this, Supreme Buddha sat down, which the seat was prepared for him. Nisajjako Bhagava Ismantang Nandakang Ekadavod. After sitting down, Supreme Buddha asked or said to Nandaka, Digokho Tyaya Nandaka Dhamma Pariyayo Bhikkунang Patipasi. Nandaka, you have preached very long Dhamma, you know. So he was making Supreme Buddha, and you have talked for a long, long time because he was standing outside, you know. Apime piti agilayati bahayadvar kottake chitas katyo pariyosana agamayamana sati. Means, even if this talk was that much long that standing outside of the door, my back is aching now, hurting a little bit. You know, so Supreme Buddha then asked him, like, okay, this is there. And this Bhante was, you know, Supreme Buddha is saying the Dhamma talk was very, so he got a little bit frightened, you know. He got a little bit frightened and even immediately say, Evam Buddha Ismanandako Sarajamana Rupu Bhagavantang. Little bit frightened, and he said to Supreme Buddha, Nakho Paramayang Bhante Janama. Bhante, I did not know. Janama means no. Okay. So Nakho Mayang Bhante Janama. I did not know Bhante Bhagava Bahidvar Kothake Titoti. That Supreme Buddha was standing in a porch or outside the door. Sachehi Mayang Bhante Jane Yama. If I know that Supreme Buddha Bhagava Bahidvar Kottake Titoti, Ettakampi no Nappati Bhaseyati. If I know that Supreme Buddha was standing outside, I will not do this much long Dhamma talk. So see, even in front of Supreme Buddha, he was a little bit frightened. Yes, definitely he was teaching about Dhamma. You know, we do sometime when we visit a monastery, and before the Bhante is coming, I don't know what we talk, but when the Bhante is arriving, immediately we get cautious, you know. And if the Bhante sit down on this his seat, and if he asks that what you were talking, then we get a little frightened. Oh, how much Bhante has listened while passing in from here, you know, something. But he was talking about Dhamma, but still the respect to the Supreme Buddha, he was a little bit conscious. And he said, if I know, then I will not have talked this much wrong. Supreme Buddha understand that this Bhante is a little bit frightened, he got conscious about that. He was a little bit worried that I have made the Supreme Buddha wait for me. So Supreme Buddha said to him that Atako Bhagava Ayasmantang Nandakang Sarajamana Rupang Viditva Ayasmantang Nandakang Etadavocha. When he saw that Nandaka Bhante is behaving or little bit frightened about, then Supreme Buddha said to the Nandaka, Sadhu, Sadhu, Nandaka. Nandaka, it's good, it's very well. It's very rarely Supreme Buddha says this Sadhu word to some other monk. He was praising him in this moment. Etanko Nandaka, this is I expect, Bhikkhu. Tummakang Patirupang Kulaputtanang Saddhaya Agarasma Anagaryam Pabbajitanang. Tummakang Patirupang, as you are, Kulaputtanang, as a noble birth, come forward. Saddhayam, with the confidence, Agarasma, leaving their home, Anagaryam, being homeless, Pabbajitanang, going forth and becoming a monk. So as the person who left his home and left his home and come to the homelessness, attained or ordained himself, yang tumme dhammya kathaya sannisideyata, you should practice this way. Means whenever you gather, you see, teach Dhamma. Sannipatitanang go Nandaka. Sannipatitanang means when you gather together, whenever you gather together, Sannipatitanang, there are several times, in Mahasamaya Sutta also, Sannipatita, word has been used. So here also, when the bhikkhus gather together, that calls Sannipatita. Okay? Even not only bhikkhus, but whenever, even any gathering, the gathering word you can call the Sannipatita. So Sannipatitanang Nandaka Dvayankaraniyam. Whenever you gather together, only two things you should do. Or one of these two things you should do. Not two things. One of these two things that you should do. Dhammi va katham. You should talk about Dhamma, or Ariyova tunni bhava, or you should practice the noble silent. So Dhammiva Katham. Dhammiva Katham means talking about Dhamma. So when you gather together, you should talk about Dhamma, or Ariyova. Ariyo means noble. Tunni bhava means silent. Okay. So one of these two things you should do when you are gathered together. See how much hard it is today. We find a waste lot of time to talk about Dhamma, but we have a lot of inquiries to ask, and it's very hard. But Supreme Buddha praised these things. Even for monks today, it's very hard to maintain this. Our teacher has to mention again and again to listen to the Supreme Buddha and this thing. So why this is important? It is mentioned in the further sutta also. Then Supreme Buddha mentioned to him, he said, Saddoja Nandaka. So now from this moment, the Dhamma talk has begun. First, Supreme Buddha listened that bhikkhus are listening Dhamma, and he praised them by saying, Sadhu Sadhu Nandaka. That person who has ordained, that person should practice in this way. See, whenever you gather together and have some beautiful Dhamma talk, how beautiful it will be when the teacher knows that you are talking about Dhamma. So the Supreme Buddha gave him sadhu, and he mentioned that these two things should be practiced in that time. And after that, he see that the Nandaka Bhante is still a little bit in frightened mode or worried that I may have caused a difficulty or pain to the Supreme Buddha. Now the Supreme Buddha is teaching him the Dhamma. In what way? He said, Saddhocha Nandaka. Nandaka, Saddho means come with the confidence, okay? Or develop the confidence. Bhikkhu hoti. So this monk has a saddha, faith. He becomes faithful, knows the silava, but he does not have the virtue. Okay. Saddhocha nandaka bhikkhu hoti, knows the silava. The bhikkhu becomes the faithful, but not virtuous. Evam so tenangena aparipuro hoti. Evam so, in that way, tenangena, with that particular factor. Tena angena means that particular object or particular thing. Aparipuro hoti, incomplete. Aparipuro means incomplete. Okay? Hoti. So he becomes incomplete in that factor or in that particular thing or particular object. Tena tang angang paripuritam bang. This person practiced to complete paripuritabha. Aparipuro means incomplete. Paripura means complete. Okay. Tena tangangena paripuritabha. So he tries to complete this way. Kitannahang saddhocha asang silavachati. How I have developed the faith, and by faith, how can I complete my virtue also? Sila also. So he thinks about that this particular Dhamma is incomplete in me. He sees that I have a faith, but I am not complete in virtue yet. That how should I complete this? He thinks about it and he complete that path. Yatochako nandaka bhikkhu saddhoja hoti silavacha. By this way, this bhikkhu becomes the faithful, hoti silava, and virtuous. Evam so tenangena paripura. And in that way, he becomes complete in all these factors. So see, what happening here, he first know that what I have, like I am a faithful, I have a confidence. So he's understand, aware of it. And then he's aware of that this factor, it is not complete in my life. We can relate this particular thing in our life. We should think that not that all the things that, okay, I want to attain the enlightenment at immediate state. No. First, we have to see what I have got, like a capital for preparing or starting any business or starting anything. We need first thing, and you should be aware of that. So the first thing you should need, that seeing inside you, that do you have a faith on Supreme Buddha or not? Do you have that complete confidence on Buddha, that the Buddha is the one who will take or who will cross me or who will help me to attain the Dhamma? That thing, simple thought, yes, the Buddha is the one who knows everything. Whatever he has taught in the Dhamma is complete truth. So once that simple thought you have, it means you are faithful. You have a confidence. You do not have a doubt on the Supreme Buddha's enlightenment. Yes, there may be a little bit doubt about the practicing Dhamma. Because of that, you cannot say you are not faithful. If you have a confidence that Supreme Buddha's teaching is the path to the enlightenment, and that's enough for you can call yourself you are faithful. If you have that thought that Supreme Buddha has taught this Dhamma for enlightenment, for peace, then you can see the furthermore point. What? That do we have the complete virtuous behavior or not? So time to time you may break the precepts, but the thought of that, yes, in me, that if I break the precept, I will have to confess it. I will have to make the virtue complete. If that, then what you are doing, aparipura, which is incomplete sealer, what you are doing, you are striving to complete it. And that thing Supreme Buddha mentioned. First, you have to see if you have a faith. If you have a faith, rejoice in that. Be happy that I have a faith on Supreme Buddha. And most of the time, that simple thought that I have a confidence, I have a faith on Buddha, that is enough to walk on the path of light. Okay? So if you have, be rejoice, be happy. Yes, I am a disciple. And then, once you know that you have faith, then, okay, let me complete my virtuous behavior. Then slowly, one by one, every day, see, in a long time, I haven't heard this living being consciously, knowingly, I haven't heard. That thing you should remember all the time. I haven't steal anything from anyone. I haven't given doubt to anyone for that. I never cheated. Something like this you should be thinking of. Then I haven't lied. I haven't taken any intoxicating drinks and drugs. So how long you are doing that, remember. If you have practiced that all the 5 precepts for 2 days, call yourself, I am a virtuous person. If you have done that for a week, call yourself, you're a virtuous person. And remember, if you have this 1 week of the complete virtuous behavior, it means in that moment you have what it takes to practice the Dhamma. That thing is this next one. What does Supreme Buddha explain? Saddhoja Nandaka Bhikkhu Hoti Silavachan. Here the Bhikkhu becomes the confident or become faithful and with the virtuous behavior. Noja labi ajatang cheto samadhis. Noja labi. Labi means fortunate or what he has not gained yet. He does not have yet, or noja labi ajatang. Ajatang means inside. Cheto means mind. Samadhi means the jhanas, So inside the sereneness or inside what it called calmness or the mind state of jhanas or complete pure concentration. What it says, Supreme Buddha, here the bhikkhu is with the confident and he has a faith also. He has a faith, confidence, and he is virtuous also, but he does not have the state of jhanas or his mind is not concentrated yet. Evang so tenangena paripurut. In that, because of this incomplete, or he does not have the jhanas, or does not have the concentration, so that one factor is incomplete. And then Supreme Buddha said, this person tries that if I have a saddha, I have a sila, now how can I develop the jhanas? How can I develop the mindfulness? And then he practiced that, sees that. So the thing is that if you are aware that you are confident, if you are aware of sila, then you can be practicing for mindfulness. Then you can practice for inside peace. Okay. Then as he think of, as he practice, what he does, yatocha ko nandaka bhikkhu saddhocha hoti silava. He attained the confidence, he attained the sila, and then labhicha chattang cheto samadhis. By practicing, by taking effort, what happened? He attains the state of jhanas. So remember, for the jhanas, for the longer mindfulness, confidence, it should not be that hours and hours you're sitting there. You should not be thinking like that. How you can think that for the particular 5 minutes, for 5 minutes, if you have a pure state of mind, then you have seen the glimpse of jhanas, glimpse of it. That pure mindfulness is when it extends from beyond 5 minutes to 10 minutes to 15 minutes and more, then you can call that, yes, I have seen the jhanas in my life. But it should be pure one. Like when you sit down for the meditation, and if you are doing loving kindness meditation. So in that loving kindness meditation, without interrupting any other thoughts, like if you say the particular direction or particular, then you immediately remember, oh, in that direction, my this relatives lives. I haven't talked with him this in a long time. Then it's not the pure concentration. It's not. You have to see, or if you are doing the individual meditation, and you see, okay, if you remember any friend and immediately remember, oh, that he's not a good friend. So the counter thoughts of it, if it happens, then it is not the pure concentration. But most of time or sometime this happened with everyone. You may have seen that when you sit down for meditation or for pure 5 to 10 minutes, you do not have any thoughts apart from that particular meditation. It may not give you the complete peace and joy, but you are concentrated in core, and that is the first jhana's glimpse. The first jhana is look like that. What is that? Savitakang savicharam, with the thoughts, with the continuous attention, you concentrate your mind. Piti sukham, then you have a peace at that moment. So the peace can be seen in different ways, because when you are concentrated enough, then you do not have to see the comfort. You are already comfortable. So the Supreme Buddha explained, when you have a confidence, when you have faith, and then when you are striving for complete the virtue. So how many days the virtue is there? That many days you can say, I am a virtuous person. Let me strive for jhanas. So always find a 5 to 10 minutes to 15 minutes to put your complete mind with that, knowing that I am virtuous and faithful. Take effort to practice meditation and you will have these things. Supreme Buddha says, when the person attained the jhanas, evam so tenangena paripura hoti. In that way, he is complete in that factor too. Then Supreme Buddha says, Saddhocha Nandaka Bhikkhu hoti silava. So the bhikkhu is here, is complete with confidence and with the virtuous behavior. Ajatang cheda samaktis. So he's also have the jhanas also. Means jhanas or concentrated mind. Complete concentrated mind he has. But nachalabi adipanya dhamma vipassanaya. But he does not have adipanya, means deeper concentration or deeper understanding, dhamma vipassanaya, to see the dhamma, or dhamma vipassanaya, to contemplate on dhamma, or you can call the phenomena here, but if you are simply saying everything in the dhamma, like 4 noble truths, it is also the dhamma. So contemplating on 4 noble truths with mind, when your mind is completely peaceful, when you have a complete concentration, on that time, adhipanya, with knowledge or excessive knowledge, or what it called the pure knowledge, when you look at the Dhamma, such a thing is not there yet at this moment. Then Supreme Buddha said, he is incomplete in that fact. Phenomena of Dhamma is okay. The vipassana that you are seeing when you are saying that all things are impermanent, that is all phenomena. You know, Everything is impermanent. When you are thinking of that, that is also. But when you say Adipanya means Dhamma, it can come as a noble truth also. The four noble truths, it is also the Dhamma. When you think of that, then you can call Adipanya Dhamma Vipassanaya. So the contemplating, Vipassana means contemplating, thinking of Dhamma with the pure knowledge or pure mind. That thing should happen. Supreme Buddha says, he gave the beautiful simile for that. Seyathapi Nandaka, in this way, Panako Chatupadako Asa. So there is a one being who has a four legs. Tassa eko pado omako lamako. But his one leg. Eko means one. Pado means feet. Omako, not complete. Lamako, it lose something, So you can call stumble, little bit stumbling, he cannot walk properly. If anyone's limbs are a little bit shorter than others, you know how the walking is? The same way Supreme Buddha explained. Thus, eko pado omako lamako. His one feet is not completely proper. Who has a four leg? Evam so tenangena paripurvasa. So this how this being is walking, it looks funny. It's you cannot call it natural walk. It is means he's not taking advantage of his proper 4 feet because of his 1 feet is bad. So his speed will be not complete. So that thing Supreme Buddha says in that way, in same way, when the bhikkhu or the disciple has a confidence, the faith is there, then he has a virtuous behavior, the sila also there, and he has a mindfulness, concentration in state is also there. But if he does not have the way to look at Dhamma, to see the contemplate of Dhamma, then this person is incomplete in that factor. Like a one limb or 1 feet is shorter than other four. Supreme Buddha explained. When you think of that, I do not have this factor. I do have a concentrated mind. So what the people utilize the concentrated mind, they just want to feel the happiness. So the meditation is kind of something like when you get dope, it gives a similar feeling. So complete similar feeling you have. That's why because of that in Indian region, these sadhus or the ascetics, what we call, they utilize the ganja for the particular what you call the marijuana. They utilize for this to get the similar feeling of that, because but it is not the concentration. It is not the concentration. It's just a feeling that I have. Sometimes for good, sometimes it takes very wrong path. But the jhanas, what the mindfulness, what it gives you the total awareness of yourself. It complete. But Supreme Buddha says, what you will do with this complete mindfulness, what you will do, if you just enjoy that moment, so you will not taking the full advantage of this mindfulness. So what is you should take? You should move it, you should divert it toward understanding the Dhamma, contemplating of phenomena, seeing the truth of this life. One thing we know when we practice for jhanas, or when one thing we know when you practice for meditation, is that with the certain time of period, I have to wake up. I have to rise from it. And then I have to do my other works. So what you do in this couple of minutes, that is very important. That is very important. You should strive that mindfulness. You should forward, or you should force toward seeing the Dhamma in your real life. And if you have that, then these 4 factors is complete. The 4 factors is complete. Supreme Buddha says, Yatocha ko Nandaka, Bhikkhu Saddocha hoti. In that way, Nandaka, Bhikkhu become faithful, Silava, and he is complete with virtuous behavior. Ajjato Samadhis Rabhicha, he does have the mindfulness or deeper concentration, serene mindfulness, or the jhanas. And he does have Adipanya Dhamma Vipassanaya, and he has a higher concentration or higher way to see the phenomena, to practice the impermanence or practice, see the truth in the life that happens. Evam so tenangena paripuro hoti. In that way, he's complete with all these four factors. Idam uvocha bhagava idam vatvana sugato uttayasana viharam bhavisi. As the Supreme Buddha said this, he rose up from his asana, his seat, and he left toward his dwelling. Sugato means Supreme Buddha. Idamavocha Bhagava. After saying this, or this much, Supreme Buddha said, Idang Vatvanam Sudho. After this happened, Uttayasana, leaving that chair, or leaving his asana chair, Vihara Pavisi. Vihara means where he was dwelling, Pavisi, went there. Okay, so remember those particular Pali words. Usually, all the time to time, this word comes to us, and then if we hear that by word, with the time you will be able, when we see the Pali, and you will have the already meaning of it, and that day will be beautiful. I hope one day we can converse it with the Pali words. See, so this entire conversation happened with Nandaka and the Supreme Buddha. And what happened? Atako ayasma Nandako achira pakkantas bhagavato bhikkhu amante. See, after leaving the Supreme Buddha, with immediate time or little bit time later, this Nandaka bhikkhu called to all the monks, or he said words to the assembly. Okay, idani auso bhagava chatuhi padehi kevala paripunnam parisuddham brahmacharyam pakasetva uttayasana viharam pavitto. What he said, idani auso, or the bhikkhus, my fellow monks, in this moment, Bhagavan, Supreme Buddha, Chatuhi means four. Chatuhi means four. Eko means one. Dvayo means two. Okay. Chatuhi means four. Chatuhi padehi. Padehi here, padehi means with the four factors, or with the four stanzas, or with the four ways. Kevala paripurna. Completely, only and only completely. Parisuddham, beautiful, pure. Parisuddham means pure. Brahmacharya means holy life. Kevalang paripunnam parisuddham brahmacharya. For pure holy life, Supreme Buddha has taught Dhamma in four different ways, or in the four ways. Pakasetva, reveal it. Uttayasana viharam bhavisi. So, after teaching these four ways, Supreme Buddha rose and he went to his vihara. And then this Nandaka Bhante repeat the entire sutta, how we hear from the Supreme Buddha. He teaches to all the monks. And after that, what he says, Panchime also. Panchime means five. Pancha means five. Okay. Panchime also anisansa kalena dhamma savani kalena dhamma sakachaya. Because also it is a way to call another monk who is younger than him. But in Supreme Buddha's time, it wasn't like that. Supreme Buddha's times, each other monks, they call themselves also Ayushaman. Okay. So whenever you hear the word called also, it is talking to another monk, means the two monks having conversation. But when the Supreme Buddha is talking with someone, he directly called the bhikkhu, or even he also sometimes calls the also, but no one calls back to the Supreme Buddha also. Okay, but two different monks can call each other also. But after Supreme Buddha's passing away, the rule has been made, or the Supreme Buddha, after he was passing, that time Supreme Buddha made the rule that the bhikkhu should not call each other as also. The also word only can be used when the bhikkhu is younger than him. Okay, so as ordination, if someone is younger, he can call the also. If it is not, then he only and only he can call the bante. But if he is younger, he can call the also, and he can call him as his name also. Okay, so that is the respective word Supreme Buddha started in Dhamma. So now the rest of the sutta is taught by Bhikkhu. So Nandaka Bhikkhu, what he says, Panchime also anisansa. Anisansa means benefits, profits, gain. Anisansa, benefits. Panchime, 5 benefits are there. Kalena, with the time, the proper time. Kalena, Dhamma savane. Listening Dhamma in proper time has 5 benefits. Kalena Dhamma sakachaya. Listening or discussing on Dhamma in proper time has 5 benefits. So listening Dhamma and discussing on Dhamma has 5 benefits. Okay? Katame panch, and what these 5? So what we are doing now in this moment has the same thing. We are listening Dhamma with a proper time. Like every Friday for you, Saturday for me, it is decided. So it is a proper time to listen to Dhamma. Okay? But in this proper time of Dhamma, if we do something else, then it won't be the proper time. Proper time it is here to talk of Dhamma, and we are doing that. So you should expect these 5 benefits of it. Okay? Remember these 5 and look in your side and look in your mind, look in your life, and see if this one of the 5 benefits do you have or not. If it is not, then you should pay more attention. You should listen more Dhamma. That thing you should definitely know that we really see this Dhamma completely. Katame pancha. Katame means what? 5. Okay, pancha means 5. Katame pancha. What 5? Idhau so bhikkhu. Bhikkhu nang dhammang desati. Idhau so. Bhikkhus. Bhikkhu, the monk. Bhikkhu nang. To another bhikkhu. Bhikkhu nang. So the one bhikkhu. Bhikkhu nang means another bhikkhu. All other bhikkhus. Dhammang deseti. Taught or teach Dhamma. Adi Kalyana. Adi Kalyana means good in the beginning, which is for welfare of ourselves. The Dhamma is good in the beginning or welfare for ourselves. Majje Kalyana. It gives the benefit in the middle also. If someone participate in Dhamma in the mid time, means half of the Dhamma is already passed, but someone participate in later time. So called the Majje. So in middle also, this Dhamma talk has that things, Kalyana. Pariyosana Kalyana means when the Dhamma talk is finished, or this the Dhamma, when someone come in the last time of period, even in that time also, do the good thing for us. Pariyosana Kalyana. For the ending also, Sathang Sabyanjanang Kevalang Paripurnang Brahmacharyan Pakasati. That Supreme Buddha has taught the Dhamma with all the necessary things, with a beautiful way, without holding anything, without hiding anything. The only path which leads toward the pure, complete, holy life called enlightenment. Yatha yatha also, as this bhikkhu, yatha yatha means as he is teaching, as this moment, Bhikkhu, bhikkhu nang dhammang desati. As this bhikkhu is teaching Dhamma to another bhikkhu, which is complete Dhamma, tatha tatha. As he is teaching, so the result of it, tatha tatha, so tasatto piyocha hoti. Toward this his teacher, or toward the Supreme Buddha, piyocha hoti. He developed the love toward teacher or toward teacher or the Supreme Buddha, manapocha. He really liked to be that with the bad person, you know. So piyocha manapocha means his confidence or he loved that and he desired for it. Garucha bhavanyocha with the respect. So what it happened when someone is listening Dhamma from someone, the result of that he develops the confidence, develop the faith toward that teacher or toward the Supreme Buddha. Ayang also patamuani sanso kalena dhamma savani kalena dhamma. This is the first benefit that someone have of listening Dhamma and discussing on Dhamma. What is it? That you develop the respect toward. You develop confidence toward. So simply, this happens. We have a lot of worries in our life, so many problems. And when you are listening of word of Supreme Buddha or listening, if any solution comes from that, or you see that what the Supreme Buddha is explaining, I do have that thing in my life. So you relate yourself with the Dhamma in that moment. How you feel about Supreme Buddha? You feel happy. You feel, yes, the Supreme Buddha has seen my heart. Or he's directly talking toward me. In that particular sutta, is mentioned about me. So that slight moment, you have this benefit in yourself. You have these things. Like, in Sri Lanka, it is the culture, what we call, it is developed to protect the Dhamma, or culture we build to protect our society or give the particular practices to that. Like before our conversation started, that we discussed that there is a school is going to start, for the kids, and they have the blessings, So before you start to learning from the education, go to the temple and get the blessings from. So the teacher, Supreme Buddha is a teacher, and we are disciple. In that way, after blessing, you can study well. So that is a culture they have developed. And that's why this is same thing happening in our monastery also, I think in this weekend. So this thing happened because of it. You develop the confidence when you listen Dhamma and discuss on Dhamma. So in the Sri Lanka, there is a culture that whenever someone is aging or old, something, so they call, yes, the aging is suffering, sickness is suffering. So when they recall, they said, because of Supreme Buddha has mentioned this particular thing. So they know the truth that I am suffering, but what they relate with the Supreme Buddha's word. Yes, the Buddha has said that this is suffering and I'm having it. So in that moment, this person relate himself with the word of Buddha and he developed the confidence. That is the first benefit. Second benefit, Nandakasutta explained here, that here the bhikkhu is teaching Dhamma, which is the pure for the pure holy life. In that moment, as he listening the Dhamma or he's teaching Dhamma, so the listener, tatha tatha so tasmin dhamme, attapati sangvedi cha hoti dhammapati sangvedi cha. Attapati sangvedi, atta means meaning. Pati sangvedi cha means becomes able to understand. So attapati sangvedi cha, it means he is understanding the meaning of it. Dhammapati sangvedi cha, he is relating himself with that particular Dhamma. Artha Sangvedicha, he understands, he knows the meaning. Dhammapati Sangvedicha, he understands, he relates himself with the phenomena or with the Dhamma. Like a simple thing, as Supreme Buddha has mentioned, like I gave the simile, that aging is suffering. Supreme Buddha has said. Okay, so when you are aging slowly, we are not getting younger. So time to time you have a back pain, you have the sight, your sight is weakened, you cannot hear properly. Those are all symptoms of aging. So when that happens, what you should think, that yes, the Buddha has mentioned the same thing, that aging is suffering and I am having this. When you have that particular word in your mind, this thing is happening. What? Dhamme atta samvedita, Dhamma patisamvedita. This thing happening. You are listening Dhamma, yes, the Buddha has mentioned, and you're relating this Dhamma with yourself. That is the second benefit. I am also dutiyo anisanso kalina Dhamma savane kalina Dhamma sakachai. This is second benefit. Means time to time you may see, when we are discussing of Dhamma, this happens. Sometimes we talk about the different uh, topics of Dhamma, and really we see that yes, this is happening. We can relate immediately, or we can become a part of that particular Dhamma talk immediately. That happens with us, And once we are relating, that called Atta Samvedita, Dhamma Patisamvedita. Only thing is that the next benefit we are missing from that. That's why it does not give immediate effect on our life. What is happening? The Punacha Parang also Bhikkave Bhikkhu Dhammam Desiti. And again, this Bhikkhu is teaching to Bhikkhu the Dhamma for the holy life, which is complete, the blessing for the in the beginning, middle, and in the ending also, and teach us pure holy life. Tatha tatha so tasming dhamme gambhiram attapadang panyayam ativijjang pasati. So really this thing happened. What? In that moment, tasmi dhamme gambhiram. Tasmi means this particular dhamma. Gambhiram means with the strong word, with the strength. Attapadang, artha, the meaningful Supreme Buddha's words. Panyayam, with the wisdom. Ativijjang pasati, sees, realized himself within. So the simple meaning of that, he relate himself with the Dhamma and totally understand the meaning of it. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. So I haven't seen in English properly. Let's see. You understand purely and get the complete meaning of it, and that is the thing. Then that is another Tatyo also. Tatyo Anis and so Kalinam. That is a third. Means you relate yourself. First, you understand the meaning, you relate yourself. Second one is, when you relate yourself, then you see the truth of it in your own life. You look at yourself and the Dhamma, you see the Dhamma is there. That is called Gambhira Panya. With the wisdom, you see in the depth of yourself with the eye of Dhamma. Punacha Paranga also Bhikkhu Nang Dhammang Desiti. Here the Bhikkhu teaches Dhamma. And then what happened? Tatha Tathanang Sahabrahmachari Uttaring Sambhaventi Adha Ayamayasma Pattova Pabbajati. They see the result of it in the other bhikkhus' life. They see that bhikkhus have attained it. Surely the Venerable has attained or will attain. So the result of the practicing Dhamma, when they relate himself, when they see the Dhamma in them, like simple thing, when you practice the impermanent, so when you are saying that this thing is eye is impermanent, ear is impermanent, and when you understand truly that is eye is impermanent and nothing is there to hold, ear is impermanent, nothing is there you can hold by anyone's word, or simply this element also, or the consciousness also, the rupa also, vijnana also. This everything is impermanent, you see, and you relate yourself. So what happens slowly, slowly with that practice, you are walking toward enlightenment. You are walking toward liberation, toward nirvana. So that thing is there, Supremana says. Or Nandakabante explained, when you are listening Dhamma, the fourth benefit, that you see yourself toward attaining liberation, or say here, Uttaring Sambhaventi. Uttaring means attain the higher stated of Dhamma, or he will attain toward it. Means his practice is show that he is going to attain the further. That is the fourth benefit, that someone is, we are looking that they are attaining. Usually in our life we get jealous of it. If someone is good in meditation, oh, that person is practicing for longer time meditation. We are not happy for that. We feel jealous. That is the thing, because of we are not enjoying to listening Dhamma, or we are not enjoying to understanding Dhamma yet. But if we are really Artha Sangvedi, Dhamma Sangvedi, then definitely we say, yes, that person is practicing, is definitely going to attain the jhanas, is definitely going to walk on the path of enlightenment. Doesn't matter, for slightest moment. Sometimes when we are sitting in the common meditation, when the people are there, and someone is literally, falling asleep like this, and if we open our eyes, we make fun of that. Oh, he's saying for jhana, he's saying for dhamma, and now he's falling like sleep. We make fun, that is also not good. We are not looking at proper dhamma in our life. That is not the benefit. The benefit is that when we see someone is listening dhamma, practicing, and we rejoice in that. Yes, this person is developing dhamma. That person is developing dhamma, or definitely he will attain the enlightenment. Rejoicing in that, that is there. That is the benefit of listening dhamma and discussing on dhamma. There is a beautiful example of that. The Visakha, she asked the 8 promises from the Supreme Buddha, we call the word. And Supreme Buddha asked, what is the benefit for you? Then she said, when I listen that this particular Bhante has attained enlightenment, then I will ask, did he visit it in my town? And if he has, then he must have eat the food in my home. He must have wear my robe. So I was helpful for him to attain the enlightenment. So I am a part of his achievement. So that benefit, that is the listening down. This is the benefit for the Supreme what the Nandaka Bhante is explaining here. And definitely you and me can have that. And the last one, it says that the bhikkhu is teaching the Dhamma, and yat yeko bhikkhu sekha appatta manasa. Here the bhikkhu who is learning the Dhamma, appatta manasa, with the complete diligence, anuttarang yoga kemang pattayamana viharanti, with the pure the pathway of enlightenment, he is walking on that. Tetang dhammang sutva viryang arabati, listening that this particular monk has walking on the path of enlightenment. Tetang dhammang, such a dhamma, after listening, viryang arabati, he also developed the energy to walk on the same path of enlightenment. Like, if the same thing happened on us also. If the bhikkhu or from our monastery or any dhamma talk, when we listen, okay, practice this meditation and you will attain the jhanas. Okay, and next day someone come and teach you, or call in the assembly, they said, Bhante, definitely I practice that meditation and I am feeling peaceful. So whoever listening that, how they think, how they feel, they also get energetic. Oh, that benefit, it is really happening. Let me do the same thing. you know. So that person also strive on that. That person also practice. This is saying, te tang dhammang sutva, listening of that dhamma, viryang arabhati. They develop the energy, diligence, appamattasa, with the diligence, patya, anadigatasa, which has not been conquered yet, adigamaya, asachikatasa, sachikataya, which has not been realized. For the realization, this person developed the effort and diligence and practice the path. Ye pana tatha bhikkhu arahanto. By doing that, this bhikkhu attained enlightenment. Khinasava, destroying of complete tense. Vusitavanno means losing all the burden. Katakaraniyam, completed what he has to do. Ohitabara, lifting all the burden. Anupatta saddha, completely come on the path of enlightenment or attained it, realized the Dhamma. Parikhina bhavasanyojana, who has destroyed the future lives or the future births. Sammadanya vimutta, in this very moment, who has realized this Dhamma, live with the pure bliss. Such a tetang dhammang sutva ditta dhamma sukhaviharaya anunuyutta viharanti. Such a dhamma, after listening, they realized himself ditta dhamma sukhavihari. In this very moment, in this very time, they live with the peace and happiness. That is the last of the fifth benefit of listening to Dhamma. So, they say the Panchamoanisanso Kalidhammasavani, that is the fifth benefit. Ime also Pancha Anisansa. So these are the 5 benefits. So in this sutta, what the Nandakasutta explained, that what are the benefits of listening Dhamma, and the Supreme Buddha mentioned here how to develop the path. First, see that you have a confidence. Second, then with the confidence, develop for the virtue. When you have a virtue, then see that you have a concentration, mindfulness. That is the third thing. When you have a seal of confidence, when you have a virtue, when you have a mindfulness, utilize that mindfulness to see the Dhamma in this very moment, called the Vipassana. So the deeper understanding, self-realization in that moment, what you have, seeing outside Dhamma, within inside, that thing. And these 4 things, when you have, that called the completion of the path of learning. Then Supreme Buddha's, after leaving, this Nandakasutta explained the 5 benefits of listening Dhamma. The first one was to listen to Dhamma and you develop the confidence, respect, and you enjoy that Dhamma talk. That is the first. Second one, you see the meaning and relate it your life. Third one is that with the relating your life, you really see what it called. You decipher the Dhamma and you see inside of you. You understand a complete meaning. That is the third. Fourth one is that you see that person is walking and attaining the enlightenment with the practice, and you get energy toward it. When the person get energized, when the person they relate and they develop same thing, they attain the enlightenment, and you also develop the same confidence or same effort and diligence to attain the same fruits. And the result of that, you also dwell in this life, in this very life, realizing the same benefit and fruits. So these are the 5 benefits. So 4 things the Supreme Buddha taught, which is really, really important for us to relate and day-to-day life to contemplate on. And the 5 things the Nandakasutta explains that what we are having the benefit of listening Dhamma talk. Sometimes it may be a little bit difficult to see, but with the time, we really get benefit from it. Okay, so remember that and enjoy the listening of Dhamma. Okay.